Okay, so we are here to talk about the very first directorial debut film of one Dev Patel that goes by the name Monkey Man. Now,
Oh,
yes, we've both seen it. We both have our thoughts. We're gonna, sit around and talk, discuss, see what we feel about this film.
I wanna. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I want to show you something funny before we move on
All
because I had
right.
it like on my desk because I'm at my desk right now.
Uh-huh.
But I have this like little cardstock photo of Dev Patel. I don't know if you can see it,
Oh,
but it
from The
came.
Green Knight.
Yeah, when I bought some merch from the Green Knight, and it's like it's very much like The Simpsons, like do it for her because it's on my desk. It's like I'm doing it for him. I'm working for Dev
For
Patel.
Dev Patel.
So I was
The
I was pretty
inspiration.
hyped for this film for sure.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, no.
Ah,
Dev
the boy.
Patel has been I don't know how long you've been following him. I've been following Dev Patel for a while. Ever since he was on Skins, the
Skins. Oh
BBC,
my gosh. I
yeah.
was like, how far back are you gonna go? Are you gonna say like, Skins or his one of his films? But yeah, that's like the earliest you can go, right?
Yeah, Skins, like bruh, as Anwar with like that group of friends. And then watching him throughout the years has been like it's been such a cool development. And now to see him go into this new arena of directing, especially a film that he's also starring in, but specifically seeing what he can do. And like I know that the background of this film has been kind of chaotic. There was a lot that went into it not even potentially not even being shown to anybody, even after it was pretty much completed. And I know that's where Jordan Peele had to kind of step in and be like, and like take over that arm of distributing the movie. So there's a lot of moving pieces behind the scenes that happened that had to happen in order for us to even see this film. But we've seen it. We have our thoughts about it. Let's discuss. How did you feel about
Yes.
Monkey Man?
I enjoyed it. Had the time of my life. No, I mean, maybe it's not a perfect film, but it's very good for it being his first film. Mind you, he's like the star of the film, and he directs it. It's hard to just be in a film that you are directing, but he is the main character. He's directing. Did he write it? He has writing credits on it too, right?
Oh, that I'm not sure about.
I
I
think
might be
so.
able to look it up.
And what I'm trying to say is that it was, this was a passion project for him.
Mm,
And, you know, through and through, you can definitely feel that energy throughout the film. Like he was super inspired and you can see kind of the
yeah,
heart that was in it.
he did
And
co-write.
that's yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, see? That's sick. Like to do all that, to like be a triple threat writer, director, actor, like now he's showing off, all right? And
Super
I'm seeing it
impressive.
for it is.
Super
Yeah, like
impressive.
so hats off to him. I want to give him his flowers. And he's like also just like one of like the most likable, I feel like, people in Hollywood. I don't know any like Dev Patel haters.
I
Like
agree.
but everybody loves him.
I agree.
So yeah.
Yeah, this film makes me very excited for his future as a director. Um, I'll agree that like it's not a perfect film. I don't think anybody would call it a perfect film, but where the film hits, it really hits, especially for me. I think that one of the very strong points of this film is its cinematography, the color scheme that is played with throughout the film. I think it creates so many cool pictures and like so many interesting, like the way that he uses contrast, especially with like the vibrant colors in the on the like Indian backdrop.
Hmm. Yeah, the color grading was like really solid throughout the film for
Yes,
sure.
yeah, I really appreciated that aspect of the film. Also, the fight scenes, I really enjoyed them. I thought they were fun.
I was gonna say they are definitely fight scenes made by someone who is a fan of action film, a fan of martial arts films specifically, because
Uh-huh.
you can tell there's like a lot of like little tropes and things. Like people who are into martial arts films and action films can recognize that, right? Like, oh, like,
Yes,
wow, like
yes.
great use of props there. Like, oh my gosh, like incredible, like gritty movements here and there. And like, oh, like I recognize that move in a couple different other films. And
Absolutely.
it's nice that he is paying homage to the films that inspire him, right? It's
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that is being directed by someone so inspired. Um, but yeah, really, really good stuff.
Really good stuff. One of the I guess we can talk about some of the not as strong, like the weaker points of the film. I would say that you could argue that the story is not necessarily as strong as it otherwise should be. And I'll say that I agree with that. I think that it was a bit convoluted in understanding all of the motivations of the different characters. I know that there's like this socio-political aspect, and then there's this like cult religious figure that's also a political figure that plays into the story and his background specifically. So there's a lot of moving pieces. You have specific figures in like the police chief that are involved and that played different roles. And I think that the film could have done a better job at making these characters a little bit more distinct and making their motivations a little bit more clear, so that we're able to follow a little bit, more closely as the movie's going through.
Yeah, I totally agree. It does get a bit muddled because, there is obviously like the guy that he has a personal history with, right? And I feel like the film could have benefited if it just like concentrated on him. I mean, you know, there's always going to be these communities and what, concentrating on a dirty cop, in an action film. There are like whole characters I feel like could have been like not in there and written out too. Like, not to be a hater, but I feel like the girl, like the like almost romantic interest was definitely
Yeah,
giving me like sexy lamp trope because she was there, she was beautiful. Didn't really
yeah,
contribute much. It would have been something if she had like some kind of like parallel to his mother. Not saying like that every woman is the same, but I don't know. There was just like I was just seeing her in there, and like she had like one cool moment, obviously, where she saved his ass. But the rest of the time, I'm just like I've seen this character before, and
uh-huh.
it's been done better. Yeah, no, there's this trope called like sexy lamp, and that's like kind of what she was. Like she was there, she was nice to look at, didn't really contribute much. And it's you see it time and time again. Just a little more development there, and it would have been fine. But it also would have been the same exact movie if she was not there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I had a friend who also saw the movie, really didn't like the movie. I think that her gripes were basically the story beats that didn't make a lot of sense. Like specifically that romantic love interest that had no point in being in the film. And then also like how come he's like sucking 1 minute, like he sucks at fighting, and then all of a sudden he is able to just beat up every single guard that he comes across without really having had to do anything except for train with that one cult. So yeah, it was that was one perspective. Those gripes didn't necessarily hit as hard for me. I was able to look past that and like enjoy all the stuff that I enjoyed about the film, but I can definitely see how some people might not have appreciated it at the same level that maybe we appreciate it.
There's too this cultural aspect that I feel like if there were some things I knew more about, the locality of like where it's set, you know? Because I know in Hinduism, right? They're Hindu in the film. It's like polytheistic, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of religious iconography. And I actually do like that stuff. I wish I understood it more because I'm sure there are some religious Easter eggs that maybe I'm like missing out on. But like that for me is like a strength of the film. I wish that they could have like concentrated on more. I actually do. I don't know if it's like considered a cult. I just know that there's lots of like little religious sects within Hinduism, right? And so he's there at that temple. He has like I think it's a pretty good training montage. I do like that they use like like kind of like a drug type thing to like open up his third eye or whatever you want to call it. And then it's like also like, that little temple, it's like full of people that don't conform to traditional gender roles. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like they should expand on this because it's like, Monkey Man is like a religious story, and for them to kind of to own like their own interpretation of religion and to like come together as a community and like lean into that. I thought that was like a really cool, beautiful thing that I don't know, that they could have just tied it together a little bit better, like in the end there, especially since like the overall bad guy was like a bad religious cult leader, But yeah, again, like that was another thing where I feel like just a little bit of polishing, a little bit of the trimming of the fat could have made things a little less muddled.
I agree. Still kudos to Dev Patel as a first effort. It was very, very good. And yeah, again, I'm curious to see what happens when when he has access to like a more streamlined, like clean movie directing role, and like he's able to really flex his muscles and his creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a really natural progression in his career to just go into directing too. Like for him to have pulled this off, I am just like excited to see more from him, and specifically action, because action movies are so fun, and it's nice to see like his spin on it, right? It would be cool if he starts teaming up with like other action stars. Like I don't know, like what if we get like a Keanu Reeves cameo or like Scott Adkins or some of these like East Asian martial arts guys. Like that'd be so sick.
That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, any other last minute mentions that you want to bring up before we turn over to the audience?
I don't know. I mean, it's another one to add to like Monkey Paw Productions too, because I feel like a lot of stuff coming out of that studio is really good. So yeah, kudos to Jordan Peele too for like, betting on these, I don't know, like indie type films. You could still they still have like an indie startup vibe to them, which is kind of cool. So yeah, excited to see more from, both filmmakers respectively.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. If you haven't seen Monkey Man, go out and see it. If you have seen Monkey Man and you have thoughts, you have opinions on anything we said, definitely let us know down in the comments, and we will catch you guys later. Peace.